Hi WDSRA friends! So sorry you weren't able to make our art class today, but I'm going to go ahead right now and show you how to make our no-sew bunny so you can still make one on your own time. So this is what our craft is going to look like when we are done. So you can see it looks like a cute little bunny rabbit, and we're going to make it with just a sock. Which, if you are anything like me, you probably have a lot of mismatched socks around your house, and I'm not sure who steals my other socks, but I'm glad I have a lot so I can make my no-sew bunny. So the materials that you're going to need for this craft are a sock. We are going to need some rice, or if you have quinoa, noodles, some people had polyfill in class today, anything that you can use to stuff your sock so that you can make this bunny. So I had rice around my house, so I went ahead and put my rice in this liquid measuring cup so that it's easier for me to pour it into my sock. Another thing that you're going to need to help you is just a regular cup. I've got a little bit of rice in there actually. A regular cup, and this is just going to help us so that it'll be easier for me to pour the rice into my sock. Some other things you're going to need, in our instructions we said you should have some string or twine, and if you have those things, awesome. I actually didn't have any of that at my house, but I did have gift wrap ribbon, and that is what I'm going to use, and it works perfectly. So anything that you have around the house that you can tie or make a really tight tie, so if you have like a rubber band or shoelaces or anything like that, that will work. So I'm going to go ahead and use my gift wrap ribbon. Another thing that we're going to need is a pair of scissors and a marker, and we're going to use the marker to draw the face. So if it's a permanent marker, that will probably work better, but really another marker should work fine as well. And you can decide what color you want to use. You might want to use a darker color if you're using a lighter colored sock or anything like that. And the last item that you're going to need is a ribbon, and this is just more decorative for your rabbit, so really depends. It doesn't matter what type of ribbon. I was really excited. I had this autism awareness ribbon around my house, so I'm going to go ahead and use that, which is pretty fitting since April is Autism Awareness Month, so that was just cool and nice that I had that hanging around my house. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing I need you guys to do is go ahead and get your sock. And before we get started, just want you to locate where the heel of your sock is. So the heel would be where the heel typically would be if you were to actually be wearing your sock. So this is the heel of my sock. And once you've located the heel, you're going to go ahead and place the sock into your cup. The reason we're finding the heel is because that is where we're going to try to fill our rice up to make the body of the rabbit. So once I've got that, I'm going to take the elastic on top and roll it over my cup, enough so that there's a hole when you look into the cup, and this is how I'm going to go ahead and fill up my sock with rice, so it's just helpful. So now that I have that, I'm going to start filling up my sock with rice. And you're going to kind of have to guess here how much to put in. Again, you're going to try to fill it up until you get to the heel of the sock, or as close to it as possible. So when it fills to the top, I'm just going to mush it down into my sock and keep going. And you may have to check at certain points where the rice is, and that you can just take your sock off, kind of see how much you still need, and decide how much you may need. So I've squashed my rice down 3 times, so I'm thinking that might be enough. And I'm just going to go ahead and check. So I'm going to take the sock off of here. Oh, and I did a pretty good job my first go around. So I am a little bit shorter than the heel, so I'm going to put a little bit more rice in. It's really up to you how much you want to put in, kind of how big you want the bottom half of your bunny to be. We just say the heel because that's a pretty good indication that you're going to have a nice soft bottom of your rabbit. But I'm going to just put a little bit more in. And I think that's going to be good for me. So, I'm going to take my sock off of my cup here. Great. And then once I have enough rice in the bottom, I'm going to cinch off the bottom and take my string or ribbon that you have and tie a knot right above where the rice is to cinch it off. So I'm going to go ahead and do a double knot just so it doesn't come undone and my rice goes everywhere. All right. And I don't really want all this extra ribbon. It's up to you. If you want to keep it there, you can. But I'm going to go ahead and cut my extra ribbon off. Great. All right, so this is the bottom of your bunny. And it should be able to kind of stand up a little bit like this. So, looks great. Now I need to make a head for my bunny. And the way I'm going to do that is the same way that I made the bottom. So, I'm going to go ahead and put the bottom half of my bunny into the cup and do the same process I did before. Take the elastic of the sock, put it over the cup. And because the bottom of the bunny is already in my cup, I'm really gonna have to squish it down in there. And you don't need nearly as much rice in the top because if you think about a bunny, the head is always smaller than their bottom. So once I have that hole again here, I'm going to go ahead and add more rice, and I'm really going to have to squish that rice down so that I can add more to have a head. So I'm going to try to use the rest of the rice that I have here if it will fit. All right. And a little bit more. Perfect. Okay. Great. All right, I'm going to take my sock off of my cup now. And you know what? I'm going to add just a little bit more rice. Sometimes you just have to check. Perfect. All right. Now I've gotten my head done. So this will be the head of my bunny. And I'm going to just cinch off with my string again, the very top where the rice is. I'm going to tie another double knot here. Awesome. And that is what it should look like now. Now we have to make the ears for our bunny because what is a bunny without ears? So this last little bit of your sock after you've tied it up top here, this is what you're going to make your ears out of. So you're going to go ahead and take the scissors that you have and cut right down the middle, all the way down to the bottom so you can make those ears look really floppy. And it will depend on what size sock you have, how tall or long or how much ear you're going to get. So if you don't have as long of ears as I do, that's totally fine. It's probably just because I used a really tall sock. Okay, so that's how far I'm going to go ahead and cut it down. So as you can see, my bunny has floppy ears now. Looking good. All right, so now the bunny needs a face, of course. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my Sharpie and draw on ears and a nose. So to do that, I'm just gonna go ahead and draw little eyes. And then how I like to make little bunny noses is make a little X. So if you can see that, he's got little eyes and a little nose. And that's my bunny. So the last step is to add the ribbon to make it just look kind of fancy for your bunny. And I'm going to choose to have my bunny have a little bow tie. Some people like to put the ribbon up top here so it looks like your bunny has like a bow in its hair, and you can do that. But I'm going to give my bunny a little bow tie. So I'm going to, by doing that, I'm going to go ahead and put the ribbon around the head and tie a bow. Perfect. And my bunny has a little bow tie. So that is how you make a no-sew bunny rabbit. And I know for one that I'm going to go ahead and use my bunny rabbits and put them out for decoration in the springtime every year. So it's a really nice craft for you to have. I hope you guys enjoyed this craft and you were able to make it with things around your house. And we are really excited you've decided to join our Art Expressions virtual program, and we really hope to see you next week. If you have any questions, you can always email Brianne or myself. I'm Katie Wheatley, and we will see you next week. Bye, guys.